19th of March 2021 will be forever something that Musssa will never forget. And Musssa, an association that started way back in 1990, after 25 years, thinks of a dialogue and begins with a dialogue about the ladies, our sisters. We all know what is so much happening to our ladies back home in South Sudan. Most of our young girls are being forced in marriages. Some of them are facing gender-based violence. Some of them have injustice at hand. So we felt as students that we really want to put ourselves in the shoes of our sisters who are deep in the who don't get voices, whatever. So that's why we wanted to empower the ones who are here with us, to show them the solidarity that we are here for them as brothers, and more especially as
and I think always we put praise and glorify for your grace on South Sudan, land of great abundance, uphold us united in peace and harmony. Oh, motherland, we rise, raising proud with the climbing song, and sing songs of freedom with joy. For justice, liberty, and prosperity shall forevermore reign over great countries. Let us stand up in silence and respect, saluting our martyrs most land, cementing our national foundation. We vow to protect our nation. Oh, God bless South Sudan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Euzobia Soma, doing BBA.
My name is Makerere. I'm doing public administration. I'm in second year. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name I'm called Joyce Tindilo from Nkumba University, second year student, and a female youth representative from my area, that is Kajansi Town Council in Tene.
Thank you.
Good morning to you all. My name is Directorate, and I'm the chairperson Nkumba University South Sudanese Student Association. I'm doing a bachelor's degree in procurement and logistics management in my third year. Thank you.
I'm Philip Augustus Mula. I'm in my fourth year doing law. I'm happy to be here actually, because if there's anything to be tackled regarding one gender, there must be a joint effort. Thank you guys.
Good morning, everyone. I'm by the name is Margaret, a student pursuing Bachelor of Public Health, African Renewal University.
Good morning, members. My name is Elizabeth, a student at AFRO, that is African Renewal University, doing Bachelor in Community Health. I'm in third year. Thanks.
Praise Lord. God is good and all the time. That is major. Wow. Okay. Good morning to you all. Good morning. I'm by the names of Nadia Susan Stewart. I'm doing child development at African Renewal University. Thank you.
Good morning, fellows all. I respect the protocol of everyone. My name is Joseph Abraham. I am from Africa Renewal University. I'm comparing theology. I am in my third year. I am also a member of South Sudanese Student from that university. At the same time, also a leader of the other students union. I couldn't leave our ladies to come alone, so I have partnered them. Thank you.
My name is Nicholas Kamasje, the Students Coordinator, Student Peer Trainers.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Joyce Tindilo Taban. I work at South Sudan Embassy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. I'm a student with a bachelor's degree in social sciences. Good morning, everyone. My name is Joyce Tindilo Taban. I'm a student bachelor of social sciences.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Makerere Santino, a student of human resource at Musssa.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Makerere Tadeka, student of second year, pursuing industrial organization and psychology, and I'm the Deputy Secretary General of Musssa, and I'm the organizer of this function, the person making sure that you have a place to sit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for that brief introduction. And by the end of the day, I expect us to at least have interacted with each other. So, young ladies, young women, you're most welcome. We have big sisters, we have our fellow sisters, we have aunties around, and we have people who can mentor us. So, all are welcome.
And maybe in the course of this function, if any chance is given to you for presentation, we beg you to make a brief introduction. Maybe some people didn't hear you out, so let it be a culture.
We in Musssa came out with this because of the situation, the circumstances that are affecting young women back home. So we thought wise to come out with a program to see ways forward and come up with also some solutions to the challenges faced mostly by the young girls, the young women back home.
This dialogue is something really we wanted. Someone can ask, why the dialogue? Why this dialogue? There is one time I was in Bidibidi, that was in Zone B. I'd gone to collect my non-food items. We had made a line. We were so many on the line. And then later on, can you make another line? So, you know, there is that struggle that happens when you're changing the line. So I was not very far from the first person, but I noticed something very strange. And that strange thing I noticed was there was a very innocent young lady. She was in the middle of two gentlemen. So they started touching her in that group, touching her breasts, touching her behind. And the little young girl, I looked at her and she was just quiet, calm. And I tried to imagine, just try to imagine, putting myself in her shoes. And I could not really contemplate what was going on. But of course, you are a refugee at that moment. What would you do? That's the first scenario. When we relate back from South Sudan, where we come from, I know all of you here have issues that you have had, issues that you have seen, families that you have come from, and you have seen a lot that is done to our young ladies, and even the women at large. It's so heartbreaking. That's why I was like, since God has given me the privilege of becoming the president of this association, of Makerere University South Sudan Student Association, I was like, I think God wanted me to relate to what I've gone through, to give a chance to our young sisters. If maybe some of them are here comfortable and they don't know what the task ahead of them, maybe this dialogue could help. If there are some gents among us who are maybe the ones who are guilty of doing such, maybe this dialogue would help reach out to them. if they are our big brothers and sisters, because this dialogue is going to be recorded, maybe one day, one time, if it reaches to them and they see what is going on, maybe they will change. If it's government personnel, maybe they will change. That's why we are here today. So, and I really want to really appreciate all of you for taking the time. Your efforts, some of you told me you have tests tomorrow, but because of this, because of the urgency you're saying with this, you decided to postpone all that just for today. I really appreciate that, and I know God is seeing you, seeing all that you're doing, and will pay you back. For sure, the future is not very far from us, the university students. It's not very far. It's very near. Today you may see a young lady back then in South Sudan being harassed or not taken care of well, and you keep quiet and you don't do anything, but tomorrow you may be the next victim. So this dialogue is not saying that we should be shouting and saying, government, no. We are here to ask ourselves, what should we do as students? Because tomorrow, we are in the future. With these few remarks, I really want you to be very open. Feel free, share out your thoughts, your ideas, your solutions. The challenges that you have faced, maybe somehow, someone might have a solution for you.
What he has told you is basically why he is trying to communicate to all of us. Do not ignore any act of violence, because today you may leave the perpetuator to celebrate, and tomorrow he perpetuates you. He will enjoy the privilege you have availed him, that even if you do anything, after all, we shall keep silent. And silence has availed very many people space to continue doing their actions of violence. So let us not keep quiet on anything. Any act of violence stands to be violence that requires us to speak about it. About sexual harassment, in which we are so specialized, me and my brother, Mark, as the student peer trainers. This is my advice to all of us as university students. Please try to talk to your friends as much as you can. Begin from academics, drive them towards the information you need. Begin from church, drive them to where you want the information to come from. Let me tell you one thing. We are seated here, but everyone has a story. If we started a session of storytelling right now, you can hear people who have suffered violence and you cry. Trust me on that. So as you are in the university, you don't know sharing with your friend what it could result into. It could be the blessing that you are giving that person. Please talk to them. Ask them. Engage them. They are suffering inside. But when they speak to someone, surely, you get ways of helping. Bring them to such dialogues. It makes them believe that they are not alone, that their case can be solved, that their tomorrow can be better.
Mr. Nicholas, I recognize your presence. Mr. Paul William in his absentia. Dr. Euzobia in her absentia. The Musssa president and his cabinet, the speakers for today's dialogue, the presenters, the ladies and gentlemen. A good morning to us all. My name is Mary. I'm a student at Nkumba University, and I'm the chairperson of my association. And I will be one of the presenters for today's dialogue. The topic that I've been tasked to present is education, child marriage, and early marriage among the girl child in South Sudan. To begin with, education. Sometimes when you ask people what education is in an English language, it's about teaching someone, and it shouldn't just be formal, it can also be informal. Because sometimes you must teach people their cultures, and this can be through education. To start with my presentation, enrollment of females in school. It's at the back of our minds. Sometimes some teachers, by the way, in primary schools and secondary, they keep reminding the girl child that you guys can never do better. So this is everywhere, not just parents, but sometimes teachers keep reminding the girl child, but you are useless. You can't make it through school. And then this girl is demoralized, not even take part in education. Cultures and traditional norms or customs have made all the females to be vulnerable in society. Only 10% of the females, imagine, 10% of the females know how to read and write, and these are only brought up in urban areas. My question is, how about participation, which must be equal between boys and girls in order to achieve a national development? But you see that in our country, really, there is so much gap between education that the girl receives from that of the boys. According to Sustainable Development Goal 2030 Agenda, it advocates on the equal participation of every child in education, regardless of gender and economic status. Back in our country, this is not applicable. It is the boys that are given a priority to go to school. And yet it is in the 2030 Agenda that every person has the right to education. Participation of females in education in South Sudan is very low compared to the males, yet females are the majority. The annual school census of 2016 indicated that the percentage of the female enrollment both in primary and secondary is 45%, and this has raised the concern of the academician and the international partners who are working hard to bring females to participate in education. So, ladies and gentlemen, you see that our percentage, and this is the enrollment, by 2017, we had 44% both in primary and secondary, and yet we are the majority. So I think we got a lot to do. And I pass the same question to each one of us who is for this dialogue. What is our role in ensuring that female knowledge? It is not only in South Sudan, but it is universal, mostly in the Middle East and South Asia. Difficulties faced by females in participating in education. That is the guardian. To the research of Charity G and Dr. Catherine, they stated that females are not getting education because of a long-held cultural tradition regarding marriage in exchange of dowry. Parents married off their daughters at an early age because of poverty. Members, you will agree with me that when most of our parents, when they are poor, they think that the only solution for them to probably offset from poverty is them marrying off a girl child. They don't care what age you are, but they will marry you off at an early stage under the guise they are poor. But I think this fight will stop. Though primary education is free and compulsory, that is in our state, it is not compulsory in other states. You know, sometimes there are some government initiatives that government puts forward just in other states, but then some states don't even know that there is free and compulsory primary education.
Pursuing a diploma in public health at Clark International University. And it's a great pleasure, I'm so privileged to be here today to take part in this dialogue, and I'm going to be talking about sexual harassment. Before I go further, allow me to bring a little insight on what it means by sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a form of discrimination that violates Title VII. If you look at the Civil Act of 1964, what does it say? It talks about it's against discrimination that depends on culture, gender, age, or anything to do with that. So, since we are looking at sexual harassment, most of us think sexual harassment is only when you're caught and dragged into sex against your will, but we are having different types of sexual harassment. And in most cases, I'll be talking at the side of ladies because our voices need to be heard. We have gender harassment. In most cases, the ladies. We have insulting remarks, obscene words, seductive behaviors. For example, you can get to an office of anybody. If you find a man there, he will start telling you some funny words, like I'm trying my level best to be open. He can look at you and be like, oh, look at that nice booty. What is that? What does my booty has to do with what I came to inquire for in your office? That is an harassment. So when you find yourself in this, immediately rush your mind to tell yourself that I am being harassed. And the better for yourself, you have to quit that place. We have sexual bribery. The sexual bribery, it happens in most cases to people who are searching for a job. You go, you find out the HR of the company is a man. He tells you, you know what? In order for me to give you this position, what I want is for you to give me yourself. I sleep with you before giving you that. It is not your right. You spend sleepless nights pursuing your diploma, pursuing your bachelor's to get yourself to where you are, to get yourself a profession. You do not have to pay by giving yourself to a man to be harassed in order to be given a job. It's not your right, my ladies. It's not our right. We have a right to work. We have a right to stand and speak for our own selves. We have another type of sexual harassment is sexual coercion. When I talk of sexual coercion, this comes with punishment. And this is in most cases in schools. For example, a lecturer tells you, you know what, I am interested in you. I want you. If you refuse it, what will they do next? He will plan and fail you. You do your coursework, you do it to your best, but he will punish you by failing you from what you've done, simply because you refused to give him what he wanted. Yet what you have to give to a school is your tuition or your school fees in order to study, not yourself. My ladies, let's be aware of this. All these forms of sexual harassment has got their different effects. And when we look at the effects, the very first effect here is a physiological reaction. When I talk of a physiological reaction because of sexual harassment, what am I meaning? If you're harassed, you will think so hard to yourself, what has happened to me? And too much thinking affects us. You can get severe headache that can cause something different to your own self. You can get sexual problems. For example, if someone is raped today, trust me, there are so many people, there are some people, if at all they were raped at a young age, they will have that sexual problem. When they look at a man, what comes in their mind is, I was raped by a man. This was done to me by this gender. So it will again bring a form of hatred between a girl child and a boy child, between a man and a lady. So this is the very first effect. We have psychological reaction. This goes with example of a psychological reaction. I can talk about depression, anxiety, shock, self-denial. Let's put an end to this, my ladies and gentlemen in the house. We need to raise awareness. How can we raise awareness? We need to speak in radios. We need to teach the community how dangerous it is for a woman to be harassed. Though there are some men who are harassed, I am not quite sure, and I do not have a deep insight about that, but I hear that. But my main focus today is a woman, a lady, a girl child. So if at all, we need people who have already insight about it, or if at all you know you have an insight about what it means to be harassed, you need to get up, go in public, create awareness, do some dramas. This can be done through dramas, through radios, through anything, so that we can know what are the dangers of sexual harassment. Report the case immediately to the authority. For example, if you're in school and a tutor is harassing you, you need to report to the authority so that your right can be given to you. You have a right to stay in school as a young lady. We need also, I urge the government to set rules that are strict against this. If they set strict rules against sexual harassment, trust me, I do not think there is any man who will still have the vigor to stand up and harass a lady in public, and harass a lady at a workplace, and harass a lady in any place or a school. Thank you very much for listening, and I will end by saying, for justice, liberty, and prosperity.
It is real in our society in South Sudan. That thing is just practical. You can see it from families to families. Girl child is home, boy should go to school, even all of that stuff. So my main topic is justice delay. So my beautiful young one, what is our government system in South Sudan? Huh? Are we decentralized system or centralized system? Huh? Huh?
It is centralized. They just make us have it at the back of our mind that it has been decentralized, but the government is sure.
According to our constitution, what is there?
The government is supposed to be decentralized.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we are decentralized system. The judicial system in South Sudan, and this higher court is supposed to be in all 10 states of South Sudan. And then we go to our customary law court. Our customary law court, we have a customary law court, we have a C court, it is county level, and then we have B court, it is Payam level, and then we have A court, it is UMA level. I think all of us will know B court in Juba. Where is it located? In Kator. Because there they tackle only issue for marriages. And I read paper published, they said because doesn't favor women. Because, and in that paper it is written very clear, it is okay for a man to punish the wife by beating. It is okay. I don't know. Then, from here we will go to the implication of what? Of justice delay. What will happen, okay, for the case of rape, what will happen if you are a victim of rape and they delay justice or they deny justice for your case? What is the effect of justice delay? There is paper published, they said delay of justice can lead to further violation of the fundamental human rights. And then there is another newspaper published by a Scottish Centre for Crime and Justice. They say the victims of rape or violence, those people, they develop physical and mental health issues, it ranges from anxiety and depression. That is the effect of justice delay for the case of rape. What to do? At least to hurry up the process. The delay should not be that so long.
I don't know if you are all acquainted with the saying, the maxim that justice delayed is justice denied. So actually this thing not only for women, but cuts across. Anything which is wrong or contrary to natural law is a injustice. So madam, actually, what to be done, we need to reform the structure, the judicial system of South Sudan. As I said earlier, the High Court is supposed to be established in all the 10 states. In fact, it's supposed to be more. So that, when courts are there, people can easily access. Then when regards the delay in the rape point she made, was when you look at rape, the ingredients of rape. One, when a girl is raped, there are these ingredients that are considered to be concluded that you are raped. One, the lady must go, or the blood stains must be there, or the injuries ascertained, or anything that can show that you are raped. But you find that most ladies, you clean all these things because you fear of the society. What will they say? Or you go with the blood to the police station, or if I go to the police station, the police will establish, or they will publish the story, and the society will judge me that this is rape. So actually, madam, what needs to be done? The justice system needs to be put in place, and then the victims need to be protected.
Especially the women who have gone to school. Yeah. It happened that some time back, a lady, has a degree, has a certificate, but got married to a man who was working, something like that. Then when the man came back home, he expected his wife to have cooked for him and his friends. When the guy arrived at home and requested the woman to bring food, the woman just put certificate in the that thing they put food in and cover it. Then when she took the food to her husband and his friends, when the guys tried to open the that thing they use for covering food, they only found certificates. Then when she was asked, why have you done this? She said, I am a graduate, I cannot cook for you, something like that. I brought this in because these are the things that now make men think negatively about women going to school. You as a woman, you have a role, and that role is to take care of the family. Taking care of the family does not mean you not working, going to work, not having a job, no. But you have that responsibility.
Tell a friend, speak to a sister. That way we can help to fight domestic violence in our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Our topic was domestic violence. As we know, it's not only in South Sudan but also in other countries. Domestic violence is one of the things that really affect women so much. I don't know, but in most cases, it's on the women. We have had...
I meaning by a positive approach, if we only focus that men is the cause, and we don't look at the other side to find what are the other issues. We only, the nail or the hammer is only the man. This movement will be a bit difficult. So I want us to focus on a positive side on how to approach this so that we can know how to approach our people at the ground root. Because we have opened our mind, but those ones on the ground may not have understand the way we are now talking about it here. This is the little I wanted to say.
My name is Rob James Isaiah, actually not Peter, but James Isaiah. I'm so happy that we're able to convene after a very long period of time with all the brothers and sisters here. It has been a moment that we've all been waiting for, but I think it's something worth celebrating. Our new entrants, the new members of the community Musssa, I can't wait to say thank you for choosing our association, for choosing the Might University upon all the universities within the corners of East Africa. We're so happy. Do not hesitate. We have a number of continuing students here that are willing to guide you in one way or the other. One or two things I would love to share with you this very afternoon is that you made the right decision, and making a decision is one thing, and working on that decision is another. So, as we get here, in a period of time, getting into the institution has always been a dream of each and every one of us that are here, and you're finally here. But still, there are instances of works that we need to ascertain that you do, such that you can be able to reach the destination at the end of the day. This is just the beginning of the destiny, but the destiny has to be worked for. There's a gentleman with me, a friend, a long-time friend, by the name of Maxon. He's a friend of the community. We have shared a lot together. We've been in Livingstone. So I would love to invite him to say a word or two to our beautiful brothers and sisters here.
The leadership of Musssa, that is Makerere University, South Sudan Students Association. The continuing students, the new students, or the freshmen and fresh women, and the general members of the Makerere University community that are here. Good afternoon. My name is Maxon Mwezi. I'm a third-year student of political science, School of Social Sciences, College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and I sleep in Mitchell Hall. I am also the reigning chairman of the National Resistance Movement students here, NRM students here, and I'm happy and beyond excited to have the opportunity to speak to you this afternoon. I share concern and happiness with a wide spectrum of students from the South Sudan for a long period of time. One, they contribute to the actualization of the East African construction. Number two, they contribute to the strength and reality of the greatest university on the African continent, that is Makerere University. So I have two issues basically. One, to add and tag my comment to whoever has welcomed the freshers, the new students. Welcome to Makerere University. Like Comrade Dailogue said, you have made the right decision and choice. Welcome to the greatest university on the African continent, and welcome to the greatest black university in the world. Feel comfortable. In Makerere, everyone is right, and all opportunities are there for you. Lastly, by God's grace, and because of you, I'm the next girl president, Makerere University. I have always shared with Dailogue that there is no big difference between someone from South Sudan and Uganda.
I give my remarks. This topic, I want to hope that this is not the only time we are going to meet to discuss this very important topic, because our lives continue to unfold, to emerge. As we grow, we get different experiences at different times. Our life keeps evolving as we grow. At this stage of your life, I'm meant to understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, we are people from different higher education institutions, right? And we may be in different institutions, but I think the fact that we occupy a space in higher education, it means that we have a critical role to play in the development of our country. And in this case, the development of South Sudan as one of the youngest countries in Africa. In terms of what contribution you are going to make for your country, South Sudan. Now, for me, I want us to ask ourselves, if I was to ask you, who are you? What would be your answer? If somebody asked you, who are you? What are those things that really define you as a person? You may not answer me, but just ask yourself, who are you? What kind of values define you? When I came in, she was talking about a woman's role in the society. How do you see yourself vis-a-vis your country at this particular point in time? Do you see your role being of somebody who is going to transform that society, or you see yourself as somebody who's just going to join the crowd and it remains business as usual? Those are the questions I would really, really want you to ask yourself and provide answers to yourself. Because if you do not reflect on your role as a woman, I know we have gentlemen here, but the topic we are talking about, women. If you don't understand yourself as a woman, then it's going to be very difficult for you to have a strategic objective of contributing to the transformation of the gender relations in your society. And women will play a very critical role. But our lives are a contradiction, unfortunately. I came in when she was talking about the role of a woman in a home. Are we together? We have all grown up in homes, okay? We know what role our mothers played in how we grew up. The question I want to ask you, do women always get credit for what they contribute to the home? And the question is why? Why don't women get credit for what they do? And what is going to be your contribution in making sure that everybody who makes a contribution, they have the right to benefit from the fruits of that contribution? What are you going to do to change the status quo? What kind of skill sets do you need? Because your life is a contradiction, doesn't mean that it should always stay a contradiction. We can make a difference, right? The issue of creating a more just and gender equal society, it starts with you, and you start from where you work. Many times people will tell you, oh, this is our culture. Oh, we need to start when the children are young, because right now, you see, we have already been socialized. The question is, everything is not static, it's dynamic. For some of us, the mere fact that we are in this space is even a miracle. I know some of you, perhaps, you didn't even know you could ever reach university. Even when you dreamt of coming, maybe somebody told you, no, that course is not for women. Even when you're capable. So there are a lot of things we have to overcome. But the bottom line is, how do you define yourself? What values drive you? How do you see yourself in this frame of things where we are supposed to be a contribution to our country? And those of us who are in higher education, there's nobody who is going to come and develop our country. It is us who are going to make that contribution. So, every time you see all the horrible things that happen in our society, the first question you should ask yourself, what can I do differently? If you identify a skill gap that you don't have, look for it. So that ultimately you are able to contribute to the development of that society. In many of our communities, we have a problem of gender inequality. But what is the justification? Why do we have an equal society? Why do we have all these injustices? And we justify them on the basis of it is our culture, this is what our religion teaches. I mean, why? Why do we have these injustices? Again, I joined when she was talking about treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. But the contradictions in our society is that women are mistreated and we are told we should even be happy. Okay? But those very people who mistreat us, they cannot stand what we go through even for a day. Why? How do we define justice from our perspective? You think about all the people that you've left behind. One, they are yearning for positive role models, positive information. When you go back home during the holidays, or maybe you don't, do you? So when you go, what is your role? For me, when I was growing up, if you saw somebody from the university during the holidays, the only thing you would think about is, my God, when will I also grow and be like that person? So when you go to South Sudan, do those young children who are struggling to study under very difficult circumstances, do they look at you and they want to be like you? Or you are a put-off? Are we together? The question of sexual harassment, she talked about it. And I have issues with some of the things that tend to surround it. But it happens in many of our societies, and it is justified, unfortunately. And we have to change that. Many people look at our dress code, but also we need to be extremely careful when we reduce the problem of sexual harassment to the way we dress. Now, suppose I find your face is what turns me on. What are you going to do about it? I mean, because when we meet, we get attracted to each other for all sorts of reasons. Some may sound crazy for others, but one of the things we get attracted to is our face.
For you to pay attention to me, must I scream on top of my voice so you can recognize me? So my dear, we are colliding. Sorry if I would so easily. No sky can hold my pain. No ocean can hold my tears. No scar can easily be trained. Just because I have no voice, after all, I'm just a woman. But must I cry for you to hear me out? It is only a heart full of sorrow, disrespect, broken heart, used heart denied justice, that can cry. Can't you treat me for once nice? Love me, respect me, do not sully me. Allow me to blossom like a beautiful flower. Must I cry for you to see the pain in my eyes? Thank you.
I'm impressed from hearing all the discussions done or every word said by each of you. As a woman, I would say the future of every girl in South Sudan is bright. From what I'm hearing from your own words. I want to say something, and I must recognize her. My daughter Achol, Cecilia. Achol, please, can you stand? Can we, the ladies, clap for Achol? Thank you, you can have a seat. The reason I'm asking all of us to clap, it is because I want to answer her. Achol, my lovely daughter, you are going to cry and cry and continue crying for people in South Sudan to hear you. That is given. Because we come from a country whereby women does not matter. We are valueless in everything. So in order for you to be heard, you must cry. Violence, it is the most common said word. Because those are things which are happening every day in different countries. Now, when we come back to South Sudan, you, the leaders, you have all spoken everything about girls' rights, the violence against girls and women. So I'm not going to repeat everything said by you. But I will come to where they asked a question when she was reading to us. She said, when Atom Mary was giving us,
She said she was asking a question of what can we do as the young ladies here, plus us, the mothers. My answer is simple. As long as we come together as women, we collect our ideas, select the best ideas, and submit to the table. Our words can cut across. But if we discuss things and it remains here, or we go as an individual, it will always be thrown like when you bring in your CV, applying for a job, and the human resource will just look at your name, and the next thing it is put in the drawer, closed chapter. So how can we come about and help ourselves? For me, us, by the way, sorry for those of you who came late, I'm called Joyce Tindilo Taban, a mother of 5. Wow. 2 at the university, 1 secondary, 2 primary. I believe so much. If tomorrow you want to stand here and we all meet in South Sudan, we need to empower ourselves as women. But before empowering ourselves as women, we should look into our culture in South Sudan. Our culture is affecting us so bad. It reached a point whereby I think people have come across whereby when you enter a place, you say, I'm so and so, and somebody will ask you, what tribe are you? They look at you, they judge you, and whatever is conclusion, but we can bring a change. Culture, for example, we said the girls should be educated. Yes. We, the mothers, are taking you to the school. But remember, you are going back to our culture. The culture says, even though you are educated up to PhD holder, where do you belong? Home. In the kitchen. The moment you come with your documents, oh, you are done with your master's or PhD. This is good. I've already gotten for your husband. There's somebody who came up. Or you already have your own, like right now, I know some of you have made boyfriends. The moment you graduate, you want to go and look for jobs together, and you want to start your future. But culture says a woman must be married, must produce children, and take care of your family. Now, you imagine this situation, the way you have some, you know what is it you went through to reach where you are. But you take these papers, actually even you don't remember where you have put them. All you do is produce every year there's a child, taking care of the family. We have issues of extended family, all in that family. Now you as the woman, you'll end up not working. Why? Now, your husband, your lovely husband, with you at the campus right now, tomorrow if he tells you you're not going to work, don't say that's wrong. He'll be like, I'm the head of the family. What I say is, it's the final. If you don't want to listen to me, get out of my house, let's get divorced. Why do you think the rate of divorce among your age is so high? Because there's lack of cooperation. Why do you think because you are a man, we did, for example, the same course, we graduated the same university, but you have the right to decide what you want for your future. But mine, I am not. Why? Because you are just a woman. Is that fair? That is life itself. That's why they say life is good, but unfair. That is where there's compromise in everything. Today, Atom even can go and present this in South Sudan. Everybody will clap for her. Yes, Atom, you are the best, you are what? But the very educated people in South Sudan with the high certificate, whatever mentioned, the first question will be, who is she? This girl we brought yesterday, today she's not coming to tell us what to do. This thing will not, whatever you want to do, it is done. That's why for me, Atom, you said, what can we do? I will say, as women in South Sudan, we make sure that in every decisions concerning women, a woman must be there. Why? Because the woman will understand what I am talking about, what I am going through. She will understand. Because she has gone through it, stage by stage. Who has not worked in your homes before reaching this level? Cooking, it is you. If it is washing, it is you. Just to mention every work in the house, you have done it. Changes take time, but it needs persistence. If you insist, Atom has written this, you come with yours, you come and you all stand. You say, no, enough is enough. This is what you want. That is when you will be heard. But as long as we are going to the same culture, let's say this document will go through maybe 20%. 20% of people will agree. But the 80% will say no. This is not our culture.
Marginalization of women is very common in our country. As I talk right now, I'll still give an example of myself, because I like giving example of myself and maybe my family. My mother is someone who wakes up, just like she said, a woman wakes up at this time to do such an activity. My mom is someone who wakes up at 5 and then she goes to the farm, because she's a farmer, she goes to the farm to dig. So just imagine that what she always tells me is that I wish I was educated. I don't want people to suffer the way I suffered.
We have your brother there that is talking to you right now. Give him chance, learn him, but know your worth.
My name is Musssa. I'm a South Sudanese student at Makerere University, pursuing Bachelor of Science in Telecommunication Engineering. So I'm grateful to be part of this activity today, and it was very interesting. I thank God for that, that South Sudan is moving forward.
Okay. My name is Nkumba. I'm a student of Makerere University. I'm part of Makerere University South Sudanese Student Association. I'm pursuing Bachelor of Agriculture and Renovation. And in Musssa, I'm the president. This program, it's a very good day that it has come. We thank God that it has come to pass. Most of our young ladies are really suffering. They are going through a lot. And that's why we gave this day to them, so that they can come together, try to think of innovative ways, which skills, which things can they start doing, which challenges can they harness, which opportunities are there, which challenges can they see and they can try to tap into. So I'm really humbled that the Musssa members, students from other universities have been able to come. As far as Nkumba University, we had South Sudanese coming as far as African Renewal University, we had some from MUBS, we had some from Cavendish University, we had those that are coming as far as we even had UCU, Uganda Christian University, they were around here with us, and so many other institutions that have joined us. And I really believe that if we continue as young people of the nation of South Sudan, we are going to move it forward. So it was really a very good day, and it is well executed. We even thank Madam Joyce from the Embassy. She was here, she was a keynote speaker. The GMD, Makerere University, it was also here. It has helped us organize this program. So we look towards seeing a better South Sudan for the girl child. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Awate Rustin Hakim.
a student at Makerere University, second year. I'm a criminology student. Today, the 10th of March, we had a dialogue, and dialogue is all about the young women, the girls who face some challenges back home. We came to discuss. Yes, it was so interactive. It was so educative. Yes, we had lots of time. So I'm so happy, and I'm praying that the changes back home, we're praying for changes back home, though today we had it in a form of speech, but we believe that with action, everything shall come to pass and we shall overcome these challenges that are faced by mostly those young girls back home. So I'm so grateful for today, and I pray for the government, of course, to work on certain things, especially on the young girls. So we're looking forward to having more time with the young women. Thank you.
Thanks. My name is Joyce Tindilo. I'm a member of Makerere University South Sudanese Association, and I happen to be the Right Honorable Speaker of this mighty association. And I'm pursuing Bachelor of Science in Quantitative Economics, my final year. My thoughts of today's discussion on our women, I came up to understand that it is our role and our ability as citizens of South Sudan. It is up to us if we can respect. Why don't we respect our young? My goal, my response is the campaign that we need to emphasize, because if we can be given opportunity as gentlemen, why not give the same opportunity to our women? We must not remain as quiet as it has been, because we are a generation, we are the real agents of change. Every day comes with challenges, and this issue of women raised by international community, we are not taking anything slightly. So I was so amazed with the discussion about sisters, and I'm very grateful for what they did and what other people did. Those who came, I was so grateful. We had
Problems faced mostly by young women back home. So it was so interactive. We had different participators. We had speeches from different personnel. So I'm so happy, glad of the day today.
Hello everyone.